Stoics often seem to us like cold, unfeeling sages who despise love and friendship. Their image is that of aloof, unyielding philosophers living in a world of dry logic and strict rules. But in reality, they knew everything about these feelings. And even more. Their approach is surprisingly modern and can help us love and befriend in a way that doesn't make us lose ourselves, preserving inner freedom and emotional balance. Today, let's talk about how the Stoics, philosophers of antiquity, understood love and friendship. Let's figure it out. Stoicism originated in Athens in the 3rd century BC. It was founded by Zeno of Citium. He taught that a person's happiness depends not on what happens to them, but on how they perceive it. The main goal is peace of mind, ataraxia, and living in harmony with nature and reason. The Stoics divided all things into two categories: what depends on us, our thoughts, decisions, actions, and what does not depend on us, other people's actions, health, wealth, even life itself. They advised looking at the latter calmly. But love and friendship apparently depend on other people. What then? Love is one of the strongest passions, and the Stoics treated it with caution. Passion is when emotions overwhelm reason, and a person loses control. The Stoics feared this, but they did not consider love evil. They wanted to purify it, to make it mature and rational. Epictetus once said, "When you kiss your son or your wife, remind yourself, you are kissing a mortal." This doesn't mean he didn't love. On the contrary, he understood the value of close ones. But he did not want to become their hostage. If a person becomes so attached that they can't imagine life without another, they lose their freedom. If a loved one dies or leaves, the world collapses. The Stoics saw this happening around them. People going mad with jealousy, envy, fear. Seneca wrote, "If you want to be loved, love, but don't let yourself become a slave." The Stoics had the idea of rational, virtuous love. Not passion, not dependence, but a union of two free people who help each other become better. The story of Seneca and Paulina illustrates this better than any theory. When Nero ordered Seneca to take his own life, he calmly prepared for death. But his wife Paulina was by his side. She declared she didn't want to live without him, and cut her own veins to die alongside him. Seneca, though he loved her deeply, tried to stop her. He said her life could still be useful. He understood. True love isn't about being prisoners of each other, but about wishing well for each other, even if that means letting go. Paulina was saved, but she bore the marks of that night for the rest of her life, and remained faithful to Seneca. Their relationship was an example of Stoic love. Love without hysteria, without destructive passions, but with deep loyalty and respect. Stoic wisdom was no less vividly shown in the personal life of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. In his Meditations, he admitted that one of his main tasks was not to let anger and jealousy take hold of his soul. He loved his wife Faustina but understood. Love must be calm and rational, so as not to cause pain to himself or others. Their marriage had both happiness and trials, but Marcus Aurelius always sought to maintain inner freedom and did not allow emotions to control him, which was especially important for an emperor and Stoic. Similarly, Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, did not avoid women and did not consider marriage unnecessary. On the contrary, he said that family life is part of one's duty to nature and society. Stoic love is kindness, mutual respect, a shared path. Friendship was no less important for the Stoics than love. Humans are social beings. To live only for oneself is unnatural. But friendship must also be done right. Seneca wrote, "True friendship is a union of souls striving for virtue." The Stoics despised friendships based on advantage. Seneca said such friends disappear at the first trouble. He advised being cautious with trust and not revealing your soul to the first person you meet. First, test a person, how they behave in adversity, how they treat others. A true friend is someone who helps you become better and is not afraid to tell you unpleasant truths. The story of Marcus Aurelius and his mentor Fronto perfectly illustrates this. Fronto was his teacher and close friend. In letters, he often pointed out Marcus's weaknesses, his excessive softness, mistakes in governance. Sometimes it was unpleasant, but Marcus Aurelius patiently listened and was grateful. He understood. True friendship is not flattery but honesty and care. This friendship helped him become a wise and just emperor. Seneca's life was full of trials and losses. He experienced the death of a close friend, Publius Cornelius, who always supported him in difficult times. This loss was a hard lesson. He wrote that true friendship reveals itself precisely in adversity, when joy and well-being take a back seat. The Stoics saw many similarities between love and friendship. In both, freedom, sincerity, and virtue are essential. Neither love nor friendship should contain jealousy, fear, or hatred. Seneca even wrote, "Friendship is purified, exalted love." Therefore, the Stoics said, "Befriend in a way that helps you live better and more virtuously. Love in a way that does not make you a slave." Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest Stoics, taught that if we cannot control something, for example, health or others' feelings, we must learn to let go and not cling. He told a story about his former master who was very ill, and how important it was to accept the inevitable without fear or hatred. Here are a few practical pieces of advice drawn from their philosophy. Love, but remember mortality. People come and go. Don't let feelings destroy your reason. Choose friends carefully. Test them by deeds. Befriend those who make you better, and be that kind of friend yourself. In love, seek an ally, not a master or servant. Be grateful for your loved ones, but don't forget your inner freedom. Forgive. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Today, many perceive love as dependence. You are my other half. Without you, I am nothing. The Stoics teach, you are already whole. Love and friendship are not to fill a void but a complement. You should not cling to people so that loss destroys you. Love them, but don't be their slave. As Epictetus wrote, you own nothing. You only temporarily use what nature has given. The Stoics knew how to love and befriend, but they did not let these feelings destroy them. Their love and friendship are a union of two strong, free souls walking through life together, helping each other become better. Seneca said, "Love is worthy of admiration when it does not make us slaves." How do you understand love and friendship? Write about it in the comments. I'm curious to know your thoughts. If this philosophy resonates with you, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos about Stoics, the meaning of life, and emotional balance. See you in the next videos.